Warning, this video is for entertainment purposes only. The Lazyboys Night episode you are about to watch may contain the following: sarcasm, story embellishment, exaggeration of facts, controversial comments, debatable observations, opposing opinions, various points of view, sensitive subjects, observational humor, playful banter, sexual innuendos, ignorant recollection of actual events, subtle references to source material, not so subtle references to source material, and many other remarks that could piss you off. If you do not find this video entertaining, then you are taking life way too seriously. If you have a complaint about any episode, please book an appointment with a therapist. That's giggling, dude.
That's dude. And welcome to Lazyboys Night. Look at that.
Oh, that's a nice color. It's got it's an amber. It's a red ale, yeah. Irene's red ale. So it's got this nice amber look to it. Look at that. Nice. Oh. It's clear, but with a reddish shade. This is from
the Ashton Brewing Company.
Yeah, Ashton Brewing Company, which is just west of here, not too far.
Wow.
Irene's red ale. I've not tried this one. I've had others of their beers, and they're pretty good. So I look forward to trying this.
You know what? We're at the stage now that...
excuse me.
That was well brought up. Too bad you weren't.
You used that before, dude.
No, I haven't.
You're so predictable.
I've never,
hey, dude,
ever
what episode was that? Right here.
You're going to give him way too much work. He's going to have to pop it up. I outed myself.
There you go. You have no head. Click.
Click. We're super lazy now. That's Lazy Boys. Click.
Click.
It's just two guys talking. There they go again, saying anything. Talking about nothing. Nothing new to say. Talking anyway. So much to review. So let's have a cold brew. A cold brew. Everybody's talking. It's not anything. No one's listening. Talking about nothing. They're all yammering. I can't hear a thing. Nothing I can do. So let's have one more brew. One more brew.
All right.
Clickety click, mother.
That's a proper red ale. It's got a little, a nice rich aftertaste. I'm gonna sound like a beer snob. Beer snob.
Beer snob.
Do I detect like hints of caramel in there?
Most of that type of beer, like reds, they usually have that kind of.
Yeah, it's very easy drinking.
Beer snob moment brought to you by Lazy Boys. Here for you.
It's a very easy drinking red ale because usually they're a little heavier, not overly, but a little heavier. It's very smooth, very, very flavorful. Good job, ABC.
Yeah, good job. I would love to have this on tap. This on tap to me would kick it up a whole new notch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the brewery is only...
Don't say it. We still got to make our way over to, what is it? What'd you call it? Ottawa in Canada. So when we leave the Hollywood Hills to go do our national and international tour, we've said we're going to stop off in this place that he keeps talking about.
It's only about like 20 to 30 minutes west of Ottawa.
Ottawa. So I want to check that place out.
All right.
So we're just going la 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 la.
All right. Good job, Ashton.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I wonder if Ashton's like no, Ashton's the name of the town. What if the brewmaster was also named Ashton? That'd be kind of
cool.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do tonight?
I think we're due for a Krabby Bowl of Mystery. No, not tonight.
No,
not tonight.
Okay, do you want me to go over there?
Please. Hey! Oh!
Yeah.
I think it's your turn to pick.
It is my turn.
It is your turn to pick. So please, pick well. All right. What does it say?
Do the magician thing.
Is that what magicians do?
They
Really?
always have all their fingers out.
Well, because they don't want you to think that you're hiding something. So
I'm not hiding something. I got a piece of paper.
There you go.
Oh, this is an awesome topic.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Is it signed?
Yeah. You'll never guess who it's from.
Stephanie?
Ah, Stephanie from
Is
New
it really?
Hampshire!
Oh my God, it's in forever. Stephanie,
Thank
we
you.
missed you. How have you
It
been?
was in the bottom of the bowl. It was like,
Oh,
that's
you
why I
know,
went to
there
the
you
way at
go.
the bottom.
All
And you
right.
know she's still watching.
And
She-
Stephanie always has the good stuff.
She
Okay.
does. So, what makes a bad movie fun or a bad movie bad? Just not good. So, what makes a bad movie fun or a bad movie bad? Just not good. You know what
Okay,
I
yeah,
mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I have a thought. Do you want to go
Thanks,
first
Steph.
with your thought, or do you want me to go first?
You already have a thought.
I have a thought.
Your thought is.
I think it depends on how serious these movies take themselves. A movie who takes itself very seriously and is bad, but they're not aware that they're bad,
Yeah.
and they're just trying to do, and they're like, "Ugh." It's, you guys suck. But some movies are done bad on purpose. They know they're going to be bad, so they make fun of themselves being bad, and they just decide to hell with it. For example, probably the most famous series of bad movies out there. That's right, Sharknadoes.
Tornado!
Sharknado movies are so bad, they're good. The first one was just bad, but people loved it anyways because it
Do you
was
think-
tongue-in-cheek.
But do you think in the first one that was already their intentions? Because I think most movies, when they're looking at their budget, they're going, okay, we can go two ways
Well-
with this. Right?
We could. I do have a bit of experience without giving anything away. I've been in a few bad movies. Two of them bad shark movies. I know. But
It's a fact.
it's a fact. And in these cases, they knew they had a very limited budget. And they're like, will this thing be like Steven Spielberg's Jaws classic shark movie? No. So let's just have fun with it. And I think Sharknado, you see the first one, the budget was low. I mean, it's just the storm hits the California coast and they try to survive. And already by the second one, they went more ridiculous. And I think there are like 6 of those movies out there. And every movie gets even more and more and more ridiculous. And that's what makes them so good, because you know they're not trying to appeal to your intelligence. They're not trying to convince you
I
this is a
hope
great
not.
film.
I
They're
hope
just
not.
saying, let's take all the elements that you guys enjoy and just crank it up 17 notches. And I think that's what makes, because there's a whole genre of, like, there's big fandoms of bad movie fandoms. And you look at most of those movies, even though a lot of them are horror movies for some reason, because it doesn't take a big budget to make horror. And people are laughing their butts off watching these films. Why? Because they're so bad. They're good, and that's what makes them good. They don't take themselves seriously. A bad film is one that really, really does not recognize how inferior it is, and because of that, it suffers. That's my thought.
But I know the funny thing is you have to understand the sheer amount of money and time that goes into actually making a movie.
Oh,
And you're going, at what point did nobody get that this is going to be a horrible movie? Because you know that Hollywood brass, like the suit and tie people, get involved in movies, like the bean counters. You have the everybody should not be involved in films at all, that are not artistic, that are just look at the money side of it.
yeah.
All the time are getting involved, and a lot of times what should be a good movie turns out to be a bad movie, because somebody with power, executive power, makes these decisions going, well, why don't we do this, or just cut that out, it's going to cost too much, or whatever.
Yeah.
So then you have the director, and then you have everybody involved from the editing and everything else having to make these decisions, and you're going, how does that not trickle down to like that B movie level? It's almost like they're the only ones that are left to their own devices. Nobody's getting involved. Somebody's going, here's some cash. Just make a movie. We'll be over there. Tell us when it's
still
done.
happens. I was involved in one production, which is a total B movie. I don't even think it qualifies as a B movie. I think it'd be like
It was a movie.
It was like maybe a Q movie, an R movie.
Oh, damn.
Well, because there was no money.
Okay.
What little money there was, the executive producers. If you don't know the lingo, producers actually produce the film. Executive producers is just a fancy title we give to people with money.
To get involved in something.
All right, so it's like, give us your money, we'll give you a title called executive producer. But the executive producer insisted they wanted a big title scroll a la Star Wars at the beginning.
Okay.
They wanted the film to, at one point, feature an environmentally friendly car. So the hero, at one point, he's with the girl, and they get to his car, and she's like, "That's what you're driving?" He's like, "Hey, it's good on guess." And just, it was. You could tell it was written in just to satisfy the criteria. And of course, the hero wanted a romantic interest between. The executive producer wanted a romantic interest between the hero and the girl that gets saved, which, you know, is so derivative. That was always the thing in the 80s and early 90s, and then it kind of switched over. Now it's like, you don't need that. And I always applaud films where they're both good looking, they do their thing, they go their separate ways. No love story because it doesn't fit. But they used to force them. And this thing, it was forced. And pretty much the final scene, that was it. It's all over. It's like, what do we do now? You want to go out? And the girl's like, I guess we kind of have to, don't we? And that was it. And it's just to say, oh, we satisfied the criteria. But it was bad, but they made fun of it with all their requirements. They made fun of the requirements.
Well, yeah, so at least they recognize the fact that, okay, we need to deal with this.
Exactly.
We're going to do a fun thing. Because when you mentioned that part, and as soon as you said that, I got a flashback of Highlander 2.
Yeah.
Now that
was
is
a bad
horrible. That's a horrible movie that took themselves seriously, hoping to make a blockbuster. Holy
it destroyed. The first one was beautiful.
I don't even know if I should recommend that you see it or not at this point.
No, watch the Highlander.
If you like the Highlanders, don't watch the second one.
You know, it'll just make you sad.
But there's a scene where, again, they threw in. I'll just say it. They just threw in a woman in there for the sake of having a woman in there, because it's mostly just guys. The whole movie is just
guys and swords chasing each other, trying to cut their heads off.
So the build-up to them ended up shagging right behind like a garbage bin or something outside.
It's been too long. I tried to block it out.
But just that whole scene was just so forced.
Oh yeah,
you're talking about that.
Cringe.
You watch it, and I watched it in the theaters, and I'm going, "Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with nothing in the film at all. It's just, that there's somebody sitting at a desk somewhere that said, I want to see this scene. I have my girlfriend or my girlfriend's sister that's an actress. Get her in this. One of those scenarios, you could tell it was not good at all.
At least the one I was in.
Bad movie.
At least the one I was in, they made fun of those criteria. You wanted the scroll? The scroll, dude, lasts almost 5 minutes at the beginning. It's almost like chapter 1 is just written this way, just to stretch it out. But that's what made it good. I've been in a lot of terrible, funny movies. I don't want to tell the titles because then they might know my name.
Don't do. Your name's Dude. It's super easy. They'll see it right away.
Yeah. Okay. IMDb Dude, and you'll see me.
Yeah. Just look up.
But
yeah, just what a bad movie. For sure, to me, the big difference for me is it comes down to the budget and interference from people that are not in the artistic realm at all.
Yeah, I agree.
That don't get it and they don't understand it.
Yeah, the interference makes it bad.
Huge. It make big differences, and you end up having films like we even had one very recently within the DC universe where they combined all these superheroes and rushed through it, and they made all these cuts they shouldn't have made, and it ended up being. I still enjoyed it, but I knew
it wasn't as good as it could have been. Yeah.
And it could have been, and it should have been, and they had to go back to it.
But
that was interference. Interference made a massive blockbuster that should have been an epic movie. It almost went. It's on that very close line to being a bad movie. I mean, it could have been taken just a few more bad decisions, and you're going into the bad movie realm. But when you're dealing with low budgets, at that point you have to make a decision. Are we doing? Because you could have a low budget movie where you have phenomenal actors. Like I'm talking about, let's say you're talking about something like Clerks.
Oh yeah, right?
Great actors,
then, watch
super
the
low
first
budget.
Watch the first
still
one.
A bad movie.
But even the
it's
acting,
not a horrible.
Dante and what's his name? Actually, they're not that great in the first one, but they got better. But
I think they were great actors. The acting was okay. The acting was okay for the type of movie.
The dialogue was great.
Yeah, I think that's what helped him out. And that's the
No.
other thing too, is dialogue.
Yeah,
Dialogue makes a good or bad movie as well.
Tarantino movies, he could have no
Horrible.
no.
Every single Tarantino movie is horrendous.
Don't listen.
Don't ever watch a Tarantino movie.
No,
They're
don't listen
bad.
to it. He could have no budget, but he's such a craftsman of great dialogue. You'll still be entranced. But I want to go back to your budget thing.
Yeah.
Budget. People don't realize there's such a thing as a low budget film, and there's a thing called a no budget film. Okay.
This is a no budget film.
Yeah, well, this is a no budget production. But
Sorry,
dude.
You're not getting paid, You're not getting paid again this week.
But
sorry.
I remember one of these films.
Oh, why did you put that down?
What?
I know you just put something bad. Anyways, whatever. Move on.
One of these films I was in, when you IMDb it, they don't actually know what the budget of these films is, and there's always an estimated budget. And the estimated budget for this film was between $200,000 and $300,000.
So what are you referring to? The STDB? IMDb.
Internet Movie Database.
That's what you need to put.
All right.
Thank you.
So the estimate for this film was between $200,000 and $300,000, and people are crapping on it because the special effects with the sharks are awful. The true budget of this film,
Are you supposed to? Can you say that?
I can because I'm in the
Did
know.
you sign an NDA? Non-disclosure agreement.
Ew. The true budget of this film was under $25,000. So if you realize they had less than $25,000, and most of that goes to catering.
I was gonna say, or did $75,000 go to catering?
No.
And an all-inclusive trip for this.
So when you realize that there's literally no money for that's considered no budget, under 25 grand, then you realize those shark special effects are actually pretty darn good considering you had no money, you had to pay your actors, you had to pay all sorts of people, you had to get secure rights for this, you had to pay for catering and all that stuff, craft they call it. So, you know what? Don't let these estimates fool you. A lot of them are completely off the mark. I mean, a lot of the big Hollywood productions...
So what makes a bad movie bad and what makes a bad movie good?
Whether they take themselves seriously or not, and interference.
Interference and yeah. So to
'Cause-
me, the biggest points is budget, interference, and writing, because sometimes you can have. We talked about this in the past. If you look at the original script for Star Wars, for example, if you're looking at the actual writing or the dialogue,
This is true.
if they would have had any other actors, oh,
Dude, get that?
can you get that? You're gonna let it go?
Can you tell we're filming live? Somebody forgot to
I'm
turn
not
off
gonna
the
pick
ringer.
it up,
Dude.
Come on, pick it up.
Dude,
Don't
pick
let
it
it
up.
go like that. Now we have to
Put
sit
the
here and
machine.
listen to you go through. Oh my God, really?
Okay, you know what? This is like a script in a bad film. Yeah.
Imagine not having that in the background. But we got to keep the footage. No, that's good footage. Keep it. Keep the
It's
footage.
like Ed Wood.
Yeah. So anytime.
Ed Wood, famous filmmaker Ed Wood,
Yeah.
is famous for some of the most horrible films in history. Plan 9 from Outer Space. But he just take one take, and whether it was good or bad, he
Didn't care.
He didn't care. It feels real. It's natural. Even if sets were falling apart. No, let it be. Let it be.
That's wild. So, hey, welcome to a live show, folks.
But this is a good production.
Yeah, good production value.
In fact, it's so good you should like, share, and subscribe.
Do that.
And
you should definitely share when you subscribe, right? When you subscribe, you can make comments.
there you go.
That's really important.
That's important.
Yeah, you see? And you can tell us how happy you are that there's no commercials right now.
Yes, and how much of a
And when we start
wonderful
having-
production for no budget we are.
Thanks, dude!
Our budget is for beer. That's pretty much
That's,
it.
we have a beer. Oh, we
Beer
have a
and
beer
t-shirts.
budget.
Yeah, we have a beer budget. All right.
Okay.
See you next
cheers.
week.
Cheers. See you next time. Oh, do we
Yes.
do this?
Yes.
Oh, we're still doing that? I thought we
Yes.
just click.
There you go.